Good morning, everyone. Today we're at Honda, and it's a Jazz, a 2005. So the customer's complaint with this one is the engine management light comes on intermittently. So it's not on at the moment, so let's check the codes. So the codes on this one are a P0339 crank sensor A circuit intermittent and a P0420 catalyst system efficiency below threshold. There's other codes here as well right now. Let's see. Battery voltage failure, electric power steering, excessive change of the vehicle's sensor signal. I think that would be linked in with the crank sensor. I would think so. Because the power steering is working. So I don't know what size engine's in this. So I think this maybe be the 1.4 engine. Maybe. Not too sure. Anyway, that catalyst efficiency code, we can actually hear underneath the car there's like a little blowing exhaust, so it's probably that. But then again, if you get a P0420, it's usually the cat. But we'll have to sort that blowing exhaust first of all, and that maybe cure it. Now, as for this crank sensor problem, that could be a few things. It could be a damaged phonic wheel, or it's maybe just the timing's out, but I'm sure Hondas are more sophisticated than that for timing between the cam and the crank, or it's maybe just a failing crank sensor. So we'll go underneath and check it out. The only way really to do this is with a scope, so maybe need to get out of the garage and pin it out and see what it looks like. But I think on Asian vehicles, they sometimes start, you can either just have a crank input or a cam input. They'll start for either or, so maybe the best way is to disconnect the camshaft sensor and see the crankshaft sensor and see if it starts without it. So I've decided to drop a few PIDs because the light's not on, and I believe it's working at the moment. So that must be crank noise, crank pulsar. I've got my glasses. FB layer, didn't know what that is. That one there, and that'll be the camshaft position sensor. So let's just drop these, see what we have. So the crank pulsar's not available. CMP is 50, CMP is 30. Crank noise is 30, I don't know what that means, and crank pulsar is completed. So it doesn't move up and down. So let me have a look through the PIDs and get back to you. So what I was going to do here is switch to OBD and see actually what one's in that system. So let's go out of that, yes, back into VinScan, no, all. Let's go into here and have a look, see what codes it says there. So it's right enough, it's within generic OBD, it just repeats exactly the same codes. So that is a problem. So I'm underneath the car here, and I've disconnected the crankshaft sensor. There's the multi-plug there. So Lionel, will you crank it out and see if it starts? Oh, that'll do, my man. So obviously it needs the crank for an input to make this thing start. So I'll pop it back in and we'll check it then. So that's it back in. Right, Lionel? Oh, there's still no start. Wait a minute. Oh. So with me disconnecting it, you see it's thrown another fault code, a 04-01 crankshaft sensor circuit malfunction. So let's crank the car over. There it starts now. Wasn't starting before. So there's definitely an input for that crankshaft sensor. So I think we've got nothing else to do bar just replace the sensor, because I don't think this car's out of time. I need to try and get a part number off it. The main dealer, the supplier, says there's a few options available on this. So that's it out, and you can see that had to use like Chinese chopsticks to get that thing out. So there you go. The magnetic fields, you can see it's got in a magnetic field. It's not too bad, but it's not that strong, is it? A wee shake and it would fall to bits, my man, eh? So we've ordered a new one. And what we can see, it's like a Mitsubishi part is on it. So 3 pin. Let's be changing it and be done with it. So the new one has arrived. Let's pop it in and be done with it.
Right, the pub on the left, that's the one we're doing. So you turn left, and if you didn't take the road up to...
So there you go, that's the new one installed, so it's still showing 30 and completed, not available, not applicable maybe, and then the other two are 50 and 30, so not much has changed. The light's still off, so hopefully it's just a matter of failing sensor. But I did see in here, let me see, come back to here, special function, crank pattern learn. So, it's running. I think we'll just clear that, but if there's any further update I'll give you a shout, but there's no any other codes came back yet. Default codes intermittent. No, we're good.